Welcome to Borough Fan TV and the Monday Night Social again at the Longlands Club. Joining me is AJT.
Yeah, as always now. Regular person on the show.
Yep, nice to join us again,
Great
matey.
to be here.
Okay. Bit like Groundhog Day as well, not just me and you here. Another frustrating afternoon on Saturday against Millwall, which we'll have a look at, unfortunately, a little bit later on.
Unfortunately, got to sort of dive into that one, people. We can't just move on.
Yeah, so like I say, join the discussion. What needs to be done in the remainder of the season, Borough fans, to see a upturn in our fortunes at home at the Riverside. We're also going to touch on the transfer window. Last 24 hours, news broke about Stewie Downing's contract situation.
Seen the Zardes thing as well. We've seen that. That's been like reopened again. Back in for Zardes or something.
So there's a lot of different things going on. Just over 10 days left of the transfer window, so we'll chat about that as well tonight. And we'll have a look forward to the Newport County 4th round FA Cup game this weekend.
We're going to look forward.
I am looking forward. It's not a league game, so I'm looking forward to it, mate. Yeah.
I'm not here, so happy days.
So as we say, Borough fans, this is your platform. Get in touch with us. We're out live again. Any views, opinions, please throw them our way. Me and AJ will have a chat about them tonight.
100%. We're here, man. We're here. And we're also upgrading. We've also got a brand new mouse. So
no expense space. Still got the label on the bottom, man. Yeah.
Advent calendars. That's what I got out mine on my 25th day. Premium wired mouse. Nice one.
So, without further ado, mate, we'll talk about a few things before we get on the Millwall game. One of the things that happened last week was the old Spygate thing with Leeds United still rumbling on. Bielsa last week, he said about that they'd spied on every one of their opponents so far this season.
So wrong, man. So wrong.
Is he clever and just like twisting the rules a bit, or is he really stupid in what he's done?
Listen, man, it's clever what he's done, isn't it? I mean, it's really sort of something that everyone sort of took a liking to and laughed at, but at the same time, on a serious note, it's very much unfair. It's unprofessional in my opinion. To come out and admit it, I mean, they didn't even do a PowerPoint on it. All the things that came with it, but I think the FA have got to do something about it. If not, listen, you're going to see every other club try and do these things, and it ain't right in football. It's unfair, it's unprofessional.
What I will say is I was amazed at the amount of preparation they do. I mean, I dare say every team does a lot of preparation for games, but he was saying they'd watched Derby County 51 times, and each time they'd watched them, the games had been like 4 hours. They'd watched a game and analysed what happened. I mean, that's unbelievable preparation he's putting in for that club, isn't it?
Mental.
I mean, it might be a little bit wrong what he's doing in terms of turning up with ball cutters to places and crawling along, giving it the old great escape and tunneling to watch teams. But in fairness, he's put a fair bit of preparation into him, isn't he?
Listen, man, his preparation on Saturday didn't do him very well. 28 times he watched the old Luton's videos.
That's right,
and he came out defeated. Well done, Leeds, well done, Bielsa. But like I say, also the one against the Borough, we drew 0-0, Bielsa didn't work either, so take that as a real. But like I say, it's all fun and games to him. Everyone's had a laugh about it. We've all seen it. But on a serious note, I think something has to be done. Whether it's going to be a fine or whatever, something has to be done.
I'd be surprised if they took points off him. I think it'll be fines. I don't think there'll be points taken off him, if I'm honest. I think 3 points against Derby, would that be wrong to do? I don't know if that'd be wrong to do. You know what I mean? Because obviously Derby were cheated out of that game, and it's like I was having discussions with some people yesterday. We were saying if they win the league, everything's going to go back down to cheating and. I think people will bring it up. I think the issue is, in a way, they haven't broke a rule, have they? I think if there was a rule, I think now there'll be a rule brought in place about it now. But at the minute, there isn't a rule there. So because they haven't actually broke a rule, I'd be surprised if they took points off them. But we'll see about that. Matthew Groves, Joe Scott, Tyler, thanks for watching, guys. Next thing we'll talk about is obviously the Stewie Downing situation. Tyler's texted in there and said about thoughts on Downing leaving. The situation apparently is if he starts one more game, he automatically gets a contract extension of another year. I don't think it's any increase or anything in terms of wage, but his contract gets extended by another year, probably on the terms that he's on at the moment. Do you think that's a good deal for us or not?
Stewie Downing, now it's really sensitive subject to many Borough fans. If you ever try and talk bad about Downing, he often get jumped on, but if we look at it now, he ain't getting in the starting 11, obviously maybe it's for that reason that you've just stated there. I honestly think it's about looking to the future. If he goes, Downing will go down as a legend. Let's be real. You know what I mean? When he started out his career, he's been all the way through the youth system.
He's had a fantastic career, hasn't he?
You know what I mean? He's got to the UEFA Cup final with the Borough. He won also silverware with the Borough. He achieved a lot. He went, listen, man, he's gone away with England, everything else. But Downing's going to go down as a Borough legend, no doubt. Even if he moved on at this stage of his career, it wouldn't affect that legendary status for me. But I think, look to the future. If Downing goes, right, so what wings have we got to replace him? You've got Van der Padder there, I know he's on loan, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Tavernier, Chapman. We have.
You think it's time to move on now?
I think it's time to move on, and I think, not only for Downing, but I think there's a few players there. You like Dimmies, Ledbetters, Downings. We have them players, and I just think, look onto the future. We've got kids coming through who are talented young kids who want to be given a chance. It wouldn't be all bad if Downing wants to go on, and much I hate to say it, because man, I like Stewie Downing, but he isn't quite giving us what he did give us when he first came back from West Ham. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A few seasons back.
And you think now it's 4 years he's been at the club. In the summer it's 4 years, and that's a long time, especially once you're over 30. You know, I think he's coming on to 35 years old now. Are we expecting too much from him to deliver, be the player that he was maybe in his first spell, or like you say, the first year or two that he was here?
I think the expectation with Stewie Downing is always there. I think everyone remembers Stewie Downing when he was a kid. Yeah. And we all still think that Stewie Downing's still there. We've got to remember his age, and he's lost a few yards over the years. Stewie Downing now, what he does is, listen, he still tries to beat him, man. He still tries to provide that little bit more every single game. His
ball on Saturday got the penalty, didn't he? Because that's where the foul came from. And I think he does offer us a bit of balance. I think we missed him on Saturday again, and now you can understand why he didn't start the game. But I think he offers you some balance. He hasn't got the pace, like you say, to take people on and do what he used to do, but he still gives you that outlet on that wing, whichever wing he's on, left or right. He just gives us a little bit of balance, doesn't he?
I think it's, well, I totally agree. The one thing I seen about the club was people were actually slating the club for what's going on with Downing, saying that no one's ever approached him to tell him what the crack is about this. And you know what I mean, that's a bit wrong, but like I say, Stewie Downing, club legend, always will be. 500 games, I think now he's played in the Championship. You know what I mean, that's an amazing achievement. And if you know what I mean, obviously, you know, I read a stat today about his career, and honestly, when you read some of the stuff that he's achieved, it's unbelievable.
His career's largely been in the Premier League, and he's played for good clubs. He's played for
a team,
for Liverpool, West Ham, 35 England caps. I mean, it's a good record.
Went to Championships for England, and I think he went to the World Cup of England as well.
2006.
So like I say, man, Downing for me. He's a legend, absolute legend. Like I say, if he moves on, it wouldn't be all doom and gloom.
We'll talk about outgoings, we'll talk about incomings. There's been a few different players linked with us this week. We've had Jukovic coming back. Kevin MacDonald, I thought he was a singer in the 80s, but Kevin MacDonald. There's been a few shouts here about John Obi Mikel. I think John Obi Mikel is, in some people are saying that he might be on his way. Now, I don't know about that one. Is another centre midfielder someone we should be looking at?
I've seen a few things, John Obi Mikel stories. It excited me because he's got the experience there. He won the league with Chelsea. He's that experience in the dressing room that maybe will spur on the younger players now to say, look, I've done this, I've done that. But then you can also achieve these things if you dig in deeper.
So you think he'd be a good influence on the rest of the dressing room?
I think if he came in, he wouldn't be one of the worst signs I've ever made. And I think he'd be there, be able to sustain that midfield, and he'd also be able to show the younger lads around him. And the players we've got now, the likes of Johnny Alton, George, have a look at lads, it ain't bad. We've done this, I've done this, but I want you to achieve it with me now. And that sort of thing, put an arm around, you know, some players' shoulders and go from there. But I have seen that apparently we've withdrawn it because apparently Pulis doesn't want it for all the wrong reasons. And it's one of the negative things again. But like I say, if he comes, I'll be absolutely over the moon with it.
I think what was interesting in the post-match interviews on Saturday, Tony Pulis again mentioned that the club had thrown a hell of a lot of money in recent times on getting promoted. An extraordinary amount, he said, of money has been put aside to try and get promoted. It hasn't worked out. To me, that suggests that I don't think there's going to be a great deal coming in the next 10 days. And then when I heard today about Yannick Bolasie, he's gone back to Everton from Aston Villa. His loan's finished there, or they've called it quits early on that. And Villa were paying the full £70,000 a week. I don't think we're in a position to challenge for getting players like that. And 70,000, I mean, it's a big gamble at this time of the season. I think the transfer ones, especially the January one, it just seems to be as though you don't get much value for your money. And 70 grand a week on a player like Bolasie, hell of a lot of money in it.
Listen, it's mental that. I mean, 70k a week that's insane. And I know we sort of want to get rid of Breivik, but already pay 50k a week for him. That's one of them things. I mean, especially all this talk of, you know, if put a sell Downing, then that's the wage bill off. Bringing the player for 70k. It's not the way to go. As much as he's a talent, it ain't the way to go, in my opinion.
No, it's fraught with like danger, isn't it? If you're starting to chuck money about it, if the club haven't got a lot of money, as it seems to be the case, they can't afford to be spending 70k a week on that. I mean,
Nelson Oliveira's been another player linked with us today. Is he excited? Well, off the subs bench, he's guest.
Sorry, lads.
You all right, mate?
Sorry about this.
Thanks for joining us.
No worries. I wouldn't miss this.
How
much guest would he be worth, you know what I mean? How much would he be worth a week if he was still playing?
Oh, hey. Well, I think he might do a better job than Yannick Bolasie.
He wouldn't. Oh, he's getting some stick at Villa, isn't he?
Oh yeah, well that's it. He's gone now. He's gone back to Everton.
Has he?
Yeah, gone back to Everton.
Nelson what's he called?
Nelson Oliveira, centre forward. He's not played a game this season yet. We've been linked with him. So again, there's another player.
He's going to come to Borough then, and he's going to come here.
There's another player you have to take about a month to get fit before he can play for you. This is his transfer window.
He's not a name that excites me, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, lads, we're going to have to talk about Saturday's game now, the Millwall match. Yeah, just right in time. There's a few people here getting in touch with us and saying they've got an issue with Adam Clayton telling us not to boo and complain after Saturday's performance. When there was booing after about 25-30 minutes, people pay good money though to go and watch the football team. Mate. People make sacrifices to go and watch their team, and at the end of the day, it is our team. Do you understand why people
put money in to watch them every single week, Uchi?
Yeah.
And we're paying a lot of money, that's not getting it wrong. If you take your family to Riverside, it's over 50 quid a game, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the fans are booing because they're frustrated, they're not getting what enough they're singing. You got Adam Clayton there doing that stupid move on the halfway line to give away the ball. And the one thing that did me back when I watched it back is he doesn't even chase the man. He took the ball off him. He chased the guy on the left wing and took the ball across.
The disappointment about that goal as well, when Clayton lost the ball, I know defenders now are told don't make a tackle till the last possible moment where, i.e. when they get to the edge of the box, let them run with the ball. I get that, but we were left with two centre-halves, with one guy running with the ball, but Wallace, he sprinted the length of the pitch, but nobody decided to go with him. He ran unchallenged, nobody went with him, and like you say, it was a gimme at the end of the day for him.
I mean, we needed a last-minute penalty to get a point from the game. Our home run, I was astounded when I heard after the game, it's 2 wins in the last 10 games we've had at home in the league. 2 wins in 10.
It's not good enough, James. It's absolutely, and the fans have every right to boo. I don't agree with it.
No.
They have every right to boo. Like you say, people are saving hard and working hard. And Saturday is their release. And
it's not at the minute, is it?
To go there and to witness that, after what we witnessed at Birmingham, which was totally different. It's just not good enough, and there's no direction. Saturday, first half, that's the most disjointed I've seen us be. You know what I mean?
Do you think the problem at home runs deeper than formations or the setup of the team, and do you think it's now a psychological thing that they've got an issue with?
I think it's a setup of the team. We've got 5 centre mids.
You saying the players are nervous to play at home?
No, we've got 5 centre mids. They're not nervous.
That's what he's saying, purely.
No, they've got 5 centre midfields playing in various positions across the midfield.
There's no width.
We've got a centre half playing as a full back. People are saying, it's the way we're performing because of Tony Pulis's options. Tony Pulis sold his 2 options when he got rid of Fabio and Christie.
Yeah.
Whether Christie was happy or not at the club.
He seemed happy enough.
Yeah. He persevered with Braithwaite for long enough.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you know what I mean? So when we've got problems with the squad, it's all down to our current manager. Because he sold our full-backs and left us with Shotton and Dale Fry to play a full-back.
Yeah.
He didn't bring Howson in, he brought Besic in. Clayton's been there forever. He's brought Saville in. But they're all playing out of position.
Yeah.
We've got Paddy McNair there, who scored a handful of goals for Sunderland in a short space of time last season.
Yeah.
Stuck on the bench, but when he does come on, he's full-back.
Yeah.
And then now you've got this carry on with Downing, where if he plays one more game, he's out the door.
Yeah.
So they're not going to play him, but that's a two-way thing.
It's just toxic, isn't it? That's what it is.
If Downing plays in the next game, does he say, look, I'll have another years on my contract, but it doesn't matter about the pay rise. But would you knock a pay rise back?
No one would they?
No matter how much money you've got, would you knock a pay rise back? So,
the
lad, I feel sorry for the lad how the situation's gone with him now at the moment, because the start of last season, he didn't even have a squad number.
No,
and that's how much he's showed he wants to stay at this club, because he fought his way back into the reckoning with Gary Monk.
Do you think that was a sign then that the club wanted to move him on because they knew his contract situation? They think we can't afford to keep him on the contract he's on much longer.
But he's played so well and proved his worth that we haven't been able to do without him.
Yeah.
Do you think even on the current terms that he's on now, it's alleged that he's on round about 30, 35 grand a week. Would you give him another year on that, Tony?
Personally, now at the moment, whether his form's dipped because of he knows the situation, he knows he's not going to get picked. But if on the form he was shown at the start of the season, yeah, you definitely,
would,
yeah.
Right. I think David Fawkes come up with another point there, and it's not just, I think, limited to the Borough here. Aston Villa have gone 6 games at home without winning, and they were getting booed on Saturday. So it seems now almost a case of where teams are more comfortable playing away from home than they are in front of their own fans.
Yeah.
But like you say, if formation's an issue, do you think Tony Pulis will change it between now and the end of the season?
No, because they can keep saying it's because we haven't got a squad. Where was Tavernier on Saturday?
Or he wasn't even on the bench. Do you think he was maybe injured or something?
Where's
It seems strange that he wasn't on the bench.
Where's Walker? Where's
like you
Fletcher?
say, where's these people?
Where's Mitrovic? He's been recalled. He's a right back. He's even getting a look in.
Exactly.
He's been recalled from Yeovil.
So, and
he's
then
even getting a look in the team.
to carry on with La Parra, he's not fit, and I just want to ease him into it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Something's got to give.
Who's been taken for the mug? Taken for mugs, are you?
Yeah.
We have.
You know what I mean?
We've been put second best again.
Why don't they just come out when they're doing these press conferences and speak the truth instead of talking like a politician?
No, but the
Forgive
thing
me.
is, he's coming out, he's papering over the cracks, he's trying to go on what he's saying, trying to sugarcoat things. At the minute, it's dire. There was 2,000 fans, allegedly, in that stadium when Hugo took the penalty on Saturday. There was 2,000 fans
I think
there.
there was more than that.
Yeah, there was definitely more than that.
Yeah.
Mate.
Well, that's the stat that came out today, apparently it was 2. But listen, no matter what the stat is, it's going to get less and less of the crowds.
Them players can't be saying that booing is affecting them, right? They can't blame the crowd for how they're performing at home. It's all down to the manager and them at
Clayton
the end of
was
the
wrong in what
day.
he said,
Someone
in my
has to
opinion.
take some responsibility somewhere
You see
down
what
the
Clayton
line.
said?
Yeah,
What do you think of it?
I don't want to swear no more.
But then he's come out today, you see that one today where he's saying,
Yeah, 'cause he's
it's
trying
time
to-
for everyone to come together.
together,
We need
yeah.
to find. I think, what are you on about, Clayton?
It's time for people to show the Teesside spirit. It's about time they did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
no,
about,
I agree.
it's about time that lot
Play
started
for the
showing us.
badge.
In fairness,
Play the
I
wage.
admire him coming out and saying what he obviously felt at the time, and he obviously felt stung by what happened. He got subbed at half-time, and he came out, and like you said, Tony, now all too often, you don't hear things honest about what goes on inside a football club. And I think he was honest after the game, but I think he was maybe ill-advised to say what he said, because once you start coming out and criticising fans, you're on a
goes
slippery
one way.
slope.
It
You're on a
goes
Then
one
slippery
you've got
way.
slope.
then you've got Borough fans saying, next home game, let's boo Clayton every
and
time he
that-
touches the
yeah,
ball.
and that's
we
not
don't
going to
want
achieve
that.
it. No, you don't want that at all. But I admired him for coming out and being honest and saying how he felt, as he did. He obviously felt like that. And I agree with him to some extent that if people are going to boo him after 25, 30 minutes in a game, it's not going to be helpful. But having seen what we've been served up for most of this season at home, you can understand why people are frustrated.
Yes.
can't
I
you?
was go on.
Sorry, AJ, especially at home,
Yeah.
James. It's
Well,
dark
how
ball.
many times now have we witnessed a slow, lethargic start to a game? It takes us about 45, 60 minutes to play ourselves into a game, by which time we're then chasing a result.
Yeah.
And this seems to be happening not just once or twice. You can list off Swansea, Rotherham, Sheffield Wednesday,
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday,
that
Blackburn.
again, Blackburn. How many times is this going to happen?
We
It's
came
like-
out the blocks once this season against Sheffield United
Yeah.
and scored
Oh,
3
yeah.
in no
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And like you say, false dawn, because
Yeah.
it's been absolutely pathetic since
Yeah,
then.
that's been.
I mean, and we've said before, you can turn statistics to whatever you want. It's 1 defeat in 6. But I tell you what, I've never come out of a ground like I did on Saturday when you've got a last-minute goal to get a point or get something from a game,
Yeah.
and it was still everyone was despondent when you came
Everyone
out the
scored,
ground.
nobody was going mental. We scored, like, oh.
Yeah, it's like a missed opportunity again. When you see the
You know
other
what I mean?
results, it was like a missed opportunity again, wasn't it? To close the gap on the
When you
teams
play a
above
team
us.
that's 20.
I don't know where you sit, James, but is it toxic where you sit? Because
It's just quiet. It's just quiet. I'm in
Yeah.
the north stand, so I'm at the opposite end of the ground to you, and it just seems to be quiet, and people are almost resigned to nothing really happening or changing. And
there's so many different opinions flying about at the moment about what's happening with the squad, what's happening on home games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And basically, we're all frustrated no matter what camp you're in. You know what I mean? Whether you're in the booing camp or the non-booing camp, whether you're in the camp of we're fifth, let's shut up and put up. You know what I mean? There's so many different factions going on at the moment inside that Riverside. You'll in. Like, I admire the local boys who play for the Borough.
Yeah, it's not easy because it means a lot to them, doesn't it? And they've got friends and family that live here, and they'll get it in their ear all the time, won't they? Steve up the Borough, Steve Gibson and Borough used to be open to the fans and honest, not now.
Steve Gibson, I don't know, you don't like criticising him, but he's not above criticism. And
well, nobody is. But he's in a position where he's there to be shot at times, isn't he?
he sits there every week. He can't. He's a Borough fan. At the end of the day, he's a Borough fan. And he can't sit up there in the gods and the high and mighty with a privilege and be enjoying what he's watching.
Nah, I don't think anybody is, either.
You know what I mean?
I don't think anybody is, but like I say, for them people that say, listen man, on Saturday night I got criticised left, right and centre on social media for sharing the thing that Adam Clayton said, and I put my views across. I didn't even have to delete comments because they got that badder towards me.
Yeah.
People say, all these so-called Borough fans, stop going then if you're not enjoying it.
Right, if we all stop going...
How was that a solution, that?
There was, 21,000 people there, and not one of them, apart from the 400 Millwall fans, not one of them people enjoyed that on Saturday.
No.
If you did, you were watching the game with your seat facing the other way.
And if you're saying that you do, then it's rose-tinted glasses that you're wearing.
If you think that was acceptable on Saturday, you're not watching the same game as 99.9% of the people.
That's all right, though. I mean, that's even Borough fans now. They're going at each other and telling each other, look, if you don't... And at the minute, everything's toxic.
Yeah.
And the only people that can change it are the lads that are playing on the pitch and the manager.
Yeah. Played in the... Like you say, let's
have a look at this then. I think it was quite telling on Saturday that, like you said, Tony, played 5 midfielders. Started off with 5 midfielders that started the game. 3 of them were replaced. So that tells you that he's got something wrong there then.
Yeah.
Because he took Clayton, Howson and Besic off. So that's an admission that he got it wrong.
Yeah.
It wasn't working. What would you go with at home? What would you like to go? I'll ask you both in turn. What would you go with, Tony? What formation would you go at home?
Right. 4-4-2 is going to be difficult because we've brought the power in.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have width, we don't have pace to play that formation to get our strikers involved in the game. I'd definitely like to see them two start together with maybe...
So was that Hugel and Britt up front,
with
right?
maybe Hugel or Tav in behind, and then have your 3 midfielders. I'd stick Howson in the middle with Saville outside him on the left.
Right.
Take your pick who you want on the right. You know what I mean? Besic or... definitely wouldn't be Clayton because he's been sat in the middle too much. And then you, like you say, you can't fault our back four, but you do have to start. If he's back at the club, you've got to start with Mimotovic.
Yeah.
Mimotovic, Friend, and then 2 out of 3 for your. Oh well, it's 2 out of 4 for your centre half.
So you wouldn't even play Shotton there if Shotton's fit. Would you play if Mimotovic had a Shotton?
It's you. Yeah, you've got to start and play a full back as a full back.
Right.
Shotton has been one of our.
See, I think we've really missed Ryan Shotton, even in right back, and he's not a right back, and we've really missed him.
That's how desperate we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like George's form's improved massively.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of players' form improved since Braithwaite's gone. So that's what really shocked me on Saturday, the level of performance and the lacklustre and like you say, they just didn't seem as if they could play together.
How about you, mate? What would you go with?
Just go attacking at home. I'm sick of seeing this defensive setup. It's got to be, like I guess there's a 4-4-2, it's a 4-3-3, it's one of them. And for me,
4-4-2 would be hard.
A 4-3-3 I'd go with because you got to go at teams at home. This whole one up front, let's sit back and let's play Mr. Crabton at bloody centre back if you like. It ain't working. It's got to be Randolph in goal. Like I say, Mamovic's got to go right back. Your 2 centre pair in there. I've Danny batting. He's solid. Ayala, we'll leave that as it is. Friend, Ayala, batting.
I don't think defence is much of an issue. It's beyond that, isn't it? It's midfield up.
We brought the power on. We brought the power on at half time. But did you see him get beyond their back four? Everything he'd done was in front of their back four.
Get cutting back.
I was quite encouraged by him. This is how we all see the game. Really, I was encouraged when he came on. I know he's not going to be...
But he didn't penetrate.
No. And I think that might come with more game time possibly. But I thought, I like the look of him because his feet were quick. And he also, when he got the ball, he would look up and he would knock the ball on quickly. Yeah. Whereas we're too slow and pedestrian. I think when he gets the ball, he'll commit men, but then he'll play it off and he'll lay it off. He won't go past 3 or 4 men, I don't think, and whip balls in all the time. But I think he did offer us something a little bit different. And I think the more game time he gets and the fitter he gets, I think he'll make a decent contribution. I think.
Were you surprised to see him when he came out and started on the left after seeing him on the right?
Yeah, and that's it. And then he stayed on the left when Downing came because he put Downing on the right. But I think, I dare say, if them two would have started the game, and now you know why Downing didn't start, I think we'd have won that game on Saturday.
Definitely.
But I think the way we set up with 5 men, more or less 5 centre midfielders across the middle, and the lads were just all more or less on top of each other. You had Clayton, Saville and Besic just getting in each other's way.
In his defence,
really.
I thought Besic had a good 20 minutes again after half time. You know what I mean?
He got a shot, didn't he? When I was
he did start to show a bit, but it's too little. It's too little in a 90-minute game.
He needs to stop winding me up with Besic. First half there, they had a corner. We had a perfect chance to break out. You got Frimpong on the left, you got Alson, and he turns back.
Yeah.
And there's 3 defenders running at him. And I'm thinking, Besic,
Well,
it's so simple, mate.
I don't know whether you noticed, because it was at your end then, the north stand. We kicked off and we looked quite positive. The clock was on 2 minutes. Millwall belted the ball forward.
We couldn't get out that corner for about 5 minutes.
But for some reason, Besic ducked out of that ball.
Yeah.
It was Besic who let it go over his head.
Yeah.
And then we never got out.
We never got out that corner for about the first 5 minutes, and you could just see then they obviously pressed on us, and we just never got going.
So the team attacks us, right, and gives us a game. We almost look out of ideas.
Yeah.
We almost look shook as if, what the hell's happening here, sort of thing.
Yeah.
When a team comes in, I said before, when a team comes in and plays football, we don't know what to do. When they come in and they're organised, we don't know what to do. It's almost as if we like stood there thinking, whoa, this isn't going to script. So
I think the issue for me is, AJ, in home games, we don't seize the initiative. Teams should be coming up here and frightened about what we're going to do in the first 10, 20 minutes, and it doesn't happen. We seem to stand off teams, and then even teams that don't have a lot of confidence, like Millwall, who I think have only won one away game all season, they think, hang on a minute, we're going to get something here today, because these haven't got a lot to offer. And
well, Neil Harris was absolutely buzzing when he was, and then obviously when the penalty went in, but he was absolutely, he was at it all game, trying to keep them at it to defend that one goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a lot of debate now. We've got Sol Starling, thanks for watching again, mate. David Jackson talking about change of manager. Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think? I can't see it at all.
He's going to go into somewhere, and that's for real. He's up here now.
Well, you've got that conundrum, haven't you, where why would Gibson allow Pulis to spend money in January
exactly
when he hasn't committed to signing a new contract, you know, to stay with another 18 months?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, Tony, I don't think there's money there to spend. I honestly don't think there's money there to spend.
There's got to be money there.
I think
we've had 2 parachute payments and we've sold all our best players in our squad.
50 million,
I think it's because of the money we've probably spent trying to get up in the first place and the contracts that players are on. I don't think there's any money at all at the club to spend. I really don't think there's money to spend. And I think Pulis has been brought in as a cost-cutting measure to trim the wage bill. And I honestly don't think there's money. I'll be amazed if we spend a substantial amount of money.
£8 million already gone to Millwall and for Saville. You know that won't happen in this window.
I just don't think there's money there. I really don't.
I don't know, man. Like I say, it's just at the minute everything is just doom and gloom. We don't know where the next positive things are going to come from.
I know I'm a 5th.
And that's the thing. 6 points off Norwich, and everyone. But it's. I mean, it's like.
How are we 5th?
Well, that says a lot about this league, doesn't it? Yeah. That we're 5th with 6 points off top 2. We're still in the play. We've been in the top 6 all season without really shining, have we? No. Apart from the first month of the season. I mean,
even when we went top for that brief spell, every game that weekend went for us, and we ended up top of the league on the Monday. Everyone got, I think we were something like 6, and we ended up top.
Could you think of anything positive then to come from Saturday? I always say we're a bit doom and gloom. Anything positive from Saturday?
Yeah, as every game. Darren Randall's amazing.
Great stop with the old crown jewels, wasn't in the first half there. That was amazing.
We've had some.
He had the burn after that, didn't he?
Jim Platt, Stephen Pears, Schwarzer, and like you say, now we talk. Randall's got to be up there with them now.
He's had a great season. I think if you stop the season now, I think without doubt he'd be player of the season.
Like we're 5th. Where would we be without his saves? How many points would we have lost? And like you say, how many points have we gained? And
I'll tell you what, it took some bottle for Jordan Hugel to take that penalty in the last minute. I know Britt fancied it as well, and had a bit of an argument and a dust up over it, but
what's that all about? They must know the designated penalty taker at the start of the game, you know what I mean?
And unfortunately, we've had a few of Britt's penalties in the past going to orbit, haven't they? So I'm glad Jordan Hugel won
There's
that
one on the roof here, isn't there?
So that was Saturday. I mean, this season for me, I think it'll be a little bit before your time, AJ. It reminds me a little bit of that season that Colin Todd had in charge of the Borough, about 91. And we went that season, we were fantastic away from home, but for whatever reason at home, we just couldn't do it. And I mean, I think this season's a little bit like that. I think they scraped into the playoffs on the last day of the season that year at Barnsley.
And is that when Notts County beat
us in the playoff semi-final? Yeah. I think this season's sort of going down that path again.
That season, I think we overachieved that season as well, because we'd sacked Rioch earlier on that year in February, whatever. Sorry, the
the year before,
1990.
yeah. And then Todd had his one season in charge, and we just scraped in the playoffs. But I think that season, in fairness, we scored a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Couldn't keep them out at the other end, which was different now.
Yeah.
We've got 18 games to go. 6-point gap, like you say, to second place. Where do you see? Again, we've said this before, lads. We're at a bit of a crossroads again. Where do we go from here?
We could go the next 18 games unbeaten
Yeah.
under our manager, and be absolutely terrible.
I think,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's away form. It's not a problem. What have we got left? 9 games away.
9 home, 9 away.
I'd take 9 wins, no matter whether it's West Brom, Swansea, or whoever. But it's just at home. I've never heard a Borough manager say they're frightened to play at home. You know, what they're frightened of, red seats, because that's all they can see. You know what I mean?
True.
And the only way they're going to fill them red seats is if they start performing at home, or if we start being a bit more adventurous.
The next 3 games in the league are massive for them. They
Well,
really are.
That's it. It's a huge week, and the funny thing is, I'm probably more confident about the 2 away games, which are West Brom and Sheffield United. Now, if you'd said that
West
to me a
Brom
couple of months
beat
ago,
them.
I'd have said no. I'd be worried the hell about playing them, but I'm more worried about playing Leeds at home than going to West Brom or Sheffield United. And that says it all.
We've got to fill that riverside when Leeds come.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to ignite the passion. It's got to really, people, if you can afford to go, because that's our biggest game of the season. If we beat Leeds, you know, at home, get us on a roll, jackpot.
Yeah, Steve Nichols will never go up with Pulis, so that's his view. LUFC, Dave, who would you guys take as a new manager? Well, I don't think so, Dave, it's an option really, because...
Mourinho. Wenger.
There's so many managers out like Wagner now, but...
I just think it's a dangerous time to change your manager now.
Wouldn't.
I know Man United have had that kick on with Solskjaer, and
Gibson
people are saying about...
But that was done at the right time, wasn't it? They brought Solskjaer in when they had to play Huddersfield, Cardiff, Newcastle, you know what I mean?
Got a bit of momentum from that.
So
I know Stoke have just changed the manager, and they've got Nathan Jones in charge. I know he got his first win against Leeds at the weekend. But again, Tony Pulis, I think, will be definitely here for the remainder of the season.
He's got to be.
I don't see any value in changing him, my personal opinion, at this stage. Now,
if he went now, you'd be looking at Stewie and Woodgate and... What was he called? Curtis Fleming.
Curtis Fleming, yeah.
I think because he wouldn't bring no one in. We'd end up with a Steve Agnew again or something.
Yeah.
And look what happened then. We won 1 game in the remainder of that season when we still had a chance of staying up.
Went to Hull City with him.
I still can't understand Gibson's thinking there.
Yeah, so I think after that experience, I think he'd be loath to get rid of the manager who's as experienced as Tony Pulis is. Nathan Emmett, totally agree with the booing. Who does Adam Clayton think he is? The team is playing awful and he's getting paid tons to jog back to the defence when they're on attack.
Right, Clayton... He's got to take some responsibility sometimes, Clayton. I know he's told what to do. That's the position he plays in. He's an old midfielder. He's got to look after the back 4. He's got to get the ball and give it. But what gets me with him, he never lifts his head up to see if there's an option to pass the ball forward. Like all these... Kante, he plays a similar role to Clayton.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because he knows he can't produce those type of passes, do you think, Tony? It's like an admission that he can't do that.
That's the type of player we signed.
He played well on Saturday.
I think that was the type of player we signed when we signed him from Huddersfield.
Oh, he scored.
He certainly scored goals, which he doesn't really do,
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I totally get it. It's a type of role which I think us 3 could still be playing. You know what I mean? Your stats look good, your pass looks good. You know what I mean? So... But I don't do the stats.
Right. Anyway, guys, we can park the league to one side. Thank God for this weekend. We've got the old Transporter derby to look forward to.
Yeah.
FA Cup 4th round day. Newport County, not Notts County. Newport County. But the thing is, there's still going to be an element of pressure and expectation.
You guys enjoy the pressure.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy the beach.
Yeah, you enjoy the beach.
Oh, well, aye.
Yeah, he's going to get
it.
He's going to be streaming it now.
Judas drove it, have to go to a different country and watch someone over there.
But we're going to be strong favourites on Saturday, Tony. However, you've got to respect the team that in the last year they beat Leeds at home. They drew with Tottenham, beat Leicester. I know they were all at Rodney Parade, but in the last 12 months, that's what they've done in the FA Cup. And people around the country are going to be expecting us to turn them over, no bother. It's like a no-win situation for the Borough, so there's going to be pressure still there, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely no-win situation. Like you said, do you rest your first teamers? Do you bring the kids in? Are you focused more on the league?
He put a strong side out against Peterborough in the last round, didn't he?
I think he's got lots of respect for the FA Cup, Pulis, and I think we might see Gusted to Sambalonga up front again. You know, a few tweaks here and there. But like you say, Peterborough second half, that's the best we've seen at the Riverside this season.
Seen 5 goals, we never seen that.
So, but like you say, they'll be right up for it. They'll bring a good following.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think fair play to their board there at Newport. They're laying on half-price travel for all their fans that are coming up. I know they've got 5,000 tickets, so I don't know how many they're bringing, but I think it'll be a decent following from Newport. Like I say, do you think there's a case, though, AJ, that maybe both teams would be preparing the game to take place at Newport rather than here on Saturday?
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Definitely now after Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I say, man, I am going to be missing it. Of course, I'm enjoying the FA Cup and I love the FA Cup, but it's a game that when I'm away, but I don't lose, it plays because it's a game that I'm expecting us to win. And like I say, you know, if I'm laying on them beaches and I find out Borough have lost, lads, I'm jumping in the sea and I'll swim back to Teesside to see if I make it back. So, you know, man, I'll be sick as a pig, but on a serious note, you would expect us to turn Newport over on Saturday.
Ah, you bet. It's just, you know, so...
Just
it's a cup. Anything is possible. You know, when you've lived through as many cup shocks as I have, the biggest one
you won't be surprised with another one, is it?
Like you say, Wimbledon beat Liverpool in the FA Cup final. Never in a million years should that have happened. That Liverpool team, that should never have happened. So Newport coming to Riverside.
Yeah, it could happen, couldn't it?
Borough fans on the booze. Anything could happen.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, like I say, all joking aside, I'm really looking forward to Saturday because I enjoy the FA Cup. And I like these days where you like play low league teams and they bring a good following. I mean, we've had it over the years. You've had like Barrow, Hensford, Borough.
We only beat them 3-2, didn't
3-2, Sunderland. All the teams like that. It's like a big day out for them, isn't it? A big game. So
League 2 and the mid-table.
So you know, you enjoy all stuff like this. So I think it'll be a good atmosphere, and I think it'll be a good day on Saturday.
I really look forward to FA Cup.
So go on then, our European correspondent here in Tenerife. What's your prediction going to be?
That's the 8th time in a row we've been through at
home.
Yeah. Is it?
In the FA Cup,
I think. Well, I can't see us losing the game. And then I said that against Burton, we got beat. But no, seriously though, we should be winning on Saturday. I'm going to go for a straight up 3-0 Borough.
3-0 Borough?
Years ago, right, I don't want to bore your age. Years ago, right, I'd be sat here now, and well, I wouldn't be sat here, I'd be sat somewhere else, and I'd be saying, this is our year, this year, Borough are going to win the FA Cup. That's all you dreamed of. This year, AJ, I'm telling you now, Borough are going to win the FA Cup. We'll beat Newport 4-0.
Big class to win it. I will triangle bloody corner flags. That's all I want, mate. I'm not really bothered about the Euro. I just want to go to the Riverside, look at the corner flag and go.
It's the one thing I want us to win. It's the one thing I want us to win.
I get a selfie with the corner flag, mate, just because it's triangle shaped.
I'm going to go 3-1. James on the camera, what are you going, mate?
3-2.
3-2?
Borough, obviously.
Borough 3-2.
What are you going for?
I said 4-0.
4-0. 3-0. Plenty of goals, loads of goals on Saturday. Yeah, like I say, and prices as well. I don't think they're too bad. I mean, I think season ticket holders are £10 for adults, general sales $15 for adults, £5 for under 18. So hopefully there'll be a decent crowd there on Saturday. Do you think we might make 20,000 there on Saturday?
It'd be nice. It'd be nice. I can't see it, but it'd be nice. But like you say, you get a lot of people going for the first time because of the cost.
Saturday as well, isn't it? Even midweek, you might get a bit more.
I hope it's a good turnout.
I'll say 15,000, 18,000, somewhere around that barrier. Hopefully, I hope so.
Well, lads, thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for
being
here. Better late than never, mate. No worries. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for all your contributions, everybody watching out there tonight. It's been spot on. Thank you very much for joining us on the Monday Night Social. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out the latest news, previews and going on at the club. Ahead of the big game on Saturday with Newport. Guess you'll be there. No, you won't
I'll
be there.
I'll be on
your own
beach,
Lilo,
but I will be tuning in, hopefully, to watch Guesty on his little, inside the van doing his little recap on the way home, so don't worry.
Nice one. Until next week, everybody out there in the van, freezing.
You'll be in the one.
So until next week from us all here at the Longlands Club, good night and up the Borough.
Up the Borough.